What is up? Kevin Hale here. It is Round of Shots on this Sunday night, November 6th, 2022. Hope everyone is doing well, has had a good week. And as the weekend is ending, hope you all had fun. Fun in the sun today here in Louisville, man. It was amazing. 70, sunny. My man Corey Price can relate. Terry can only, I don't know what Terry's weather was. We'll find out. It is Round of Shots streaming live on our Twitter, YouTube pages, channels. It is, I'll stand by this. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm pretty damn sure it's the only live streaming Kentucky themed show podcast on a Sunday night. And I'm glad to make your all's acquaintance. And I hope everyone joins in, hangs out, hits us up in the comments. See Michelle and Carter so far joining us. Thanks, guys. Bringing your questions, comments. It is round table style where I throw our panel topics and they shoot the shit. We shoot it for typically I like to say about 90 minutes. And I've given Michelle the green light to like call me out at 10 o'clock. I really need a hard stop. I'm a little under the weather, but we'll see how it goes. Just depends on, Terry, and you've had this experience in the past too. It depends on if one of the other guys on the round table starts talking and his co-host that they do another show chimes in the chat, and then they go back and forth, and all of a sudden that other co-host wants to come in on the show. I mean, it's anarchy. It's borderline hijacking a show, but good people, and I'll let it happen. But Terry, good to see you. Louisville weather was nice. What about you in Iowa?
Windy and a little bit chilly tonight, so that's such as it goes in the Midwest.
I mean, it is. We're into November, so, and I see Kentucky soccer. What's going on with Kentucky soccer right now?
1-1. The men just tied up South Carolina. They're playing in the Fun Belt quarterfinals, so undefeated season, and so hopefully the number 2 Wildcats keep marching.
As we keep marching, joining us, Mr. Corey Price, who's making his return after his Halloween absence, horror film absence. Corey, always good to have you on. Hope you're doing well. What's up, brother?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back. Had I think two weeks off. I believe. So
you did.
Yeah.
You told me no 2 times, or you did tell me no.
Yeah.
But I'll take what I can get. Also joining us with her news, Carrie Lewis. You're smiling. For you to start the show with the smile is a little different for me, because usually you come on and you're straight faced and you've had 1 or 2 shows you've already done, and I feel like I'm like inconveniencing you at the start of the show, and then you kind of loosen up. And what's the smiley face for?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy to be here. Like, God, there's so much that is in my head that I want to talk about.
There's
in terms
of
week 10. Just what a wild week 10, man. If you weren't watching college football this weekend, I can't help you for real, because that was some good games.
For real. Now, last week, thanks to this guy and his partner in crime that will come on in a second. Well, I'm going to just bring them both on. Van.
Oh, no! Damn it!
I know. This is what we've, I don't know what it, Terry, Corey, Carrie, should we still call this show Round of Shots, or should we start calling it the Locker Foreplay Edition?
Ooh.
I like the
foreplay angle. I like the foreplay angle.
Very white voice.
I like the Locker 2 Electric Boogaloo, but that's just me.
I like that too.
Well, Van, pleasure is mine. Good to see you, Van. How are you, sir?
Man, I was excellent until this damn guy next to me showed up. Now I'm fair, partly cloudy. Can you separate us? Put Carrie in the middle, please. I
I
don't
can
need
do
him right
that.
next to me.
There, I could do that.
You.
There
Thank
you go.
for-
Yeah,
I did this for you, Van.
look at that.
Dude,
Yeah.
hold on.
That's one of our topics tonight.
Hold
World
on.
Series is one.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
He's got to go get a drum or a trash can, whatever that device the Astros use to cheat. He probably has a signed replica of. All right. Anyway, Anthony, good to see you. How are you, sir?
Oh man, glad to be on, man. I mean, these are some of my favorite follows, man, on social media, man.
Oh, me too.
Carrie, TB, and Corey, the man,
Man with
Corey,
all the info.
and plus, I need to. I'm not going to ruin. I don't want to ruin the show, but I just want to debunk some of these Van things because there's a lot of blame to go around in UK football. He always want to blame the players.
Shirt.
I'm not a
Jersey.
player blaming guy.
Well, this is where now everyone here, this is people who are kind of just starting to follow or watch Round of Shots. It's a roundtable discussion. There's no interviews. And how I do this is I pick from my friends who do their other shows, their other podcasts. And typically I like to just kind of bring one of the guests just to make it fair. But I can't say no to Anthony. And then Corey's got every imaginable stat. I thought it's all here. I thought it was all here. And then I hit up Corey with the stat this evening, like, can I get you to give me some numbers? And he didn't readily have them available. I guess he's still in the Halloween mode.
He's lying to you. He's lying.
He just didn't want to. He's like, okay, I'll just wing it. I'll do it. All right, it is Round of Shots. This is, as Carrie said, it was a big sports weekend. Besides college football, we don't even talk much of we really don't talk the NFL or the NBA. But those are two sports that are alive and happening. Some controversy in the round ball one involving a Brooklyn guard, and then you got the NFL, which Tom Brady is ruining his legacy. I'm saying it right now. I mean, did they only have 2 field goals today?
They won the game.
They won, so yeah.
He threw a
They did
He
win.
threw a touchdown to win.
Oh,
He,
well then
he just
there-
tied
that-
Peyton.
that-
He
that goes
passed
me
Peyton
'cause I
Manning
literally
for
turned it
game-winning
off.
drives.
I turned it off.
Yep.
It was very painful to watch.
But as a 45-year-old man myself, there's better things I would have to do with my time than being chased by 300-pound linemen.
Mhm.
That's just me.
They can't hit you though, so
Well, he's very protected, though.
Well, that's-
Very protected.
yeah, they can't hit you.
All right. Well, then I totally botched that segment there. But Kentucky went on the road at Missouri. A game for to me, it was a game we needed to win, and we took care of business. Helped a lot of the BBN who were literally 1 foot off the ledge after last week's Tennessee game.
Did we? Are you sure about that?
I said some. The last time I lost sleep over a game was late in their shot, so I don't lose sleep over games anymore. But last week kind of bothered me, just from a performance standpoint. I thought clearly we offensively we laid an egg. That's in the past. Let's talk about Missouri. Terry Brown, I always start with you because you bring the love and joy right away. So give it to me. Your high level summary from the Missouri win.
A win is a win. I mean, you just take a road win in the SEC, however you can get it. That's my takeaway. Was it pretty? No. And for a stretch there, I was like, we can't lose to these guys. But we had a fortunate spot on that 4th down play from C-Rod, but we did just enough to win, and that's what you have to do. I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, but Colin Goodfellow, I mean, basically has saved Kentucky's bacon in 2 games this year.
he
Florida
became a
game,
freaking legend after
and
yesterday.
just the wherewithal to still get the ball and attempt to punt it. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a tremendous play that you don't ordinarily see from a punter because, I mean, all they're doing is back there kicking the ball. But to still stay with it and
Punter
not
with
panic.
brains.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, because there was no panic. He was just
No.
like, I'm still going to follow through with what I'm supposed to do. And it was a beneficial play for Kentucky. I know he got injured, and I have not seen any kind of reports or anything, but that was a big play. So it's 2 plays this season that, as Steve Spurrier said, Kentucky's got a heck of a punter. So
I forgot about the Florida play, which was actually very smart too.
yeah, so 2 big plays. So you know he's going to be in that highlight reel at the end of the season.
And we got his Venmo from after last night too. So I don't want to say that I contributed because I don't know if it's I don't know if it's not a violation.
It is now.
It is now a violation.
Yeah, well, yeah, with the NIL stuff, yeah, you could, yeah.
Well, I know, but if I send him a Venmo and in the comments it says, you know, I'm not going to say this is for you being a UK player. I'll say this is for I don't know, the lunch you bought me or something to that effect. You know, I don't know. Don't hit me with facts right away, Carrie. Corey, let me go to you. Were you at the game?
No, actually, I was at a friend's wedding, so I missed actually the vast majority of the game, sadly.
Gotcha. Okay, but based on your follow-up sense, what was your high-level takeaway?
It's pretty much the same theme as the entire year. Mostly offense seemed to sputter, and defense showed up when they needed to. Dane Key was awesome with his two touchdowns. The O-line continues to disappoint. I know some of it is Will taking too long to try and throw it away or not throw it away at all, but still the O-line's got some problems.
And we're gonna, as we dig deeper, we'll get some stats on what the O-line is as far as sacks go through yesterday's game. Now let me separate Van and Anthony as far as back-to-backs. We'll put Carrie in between them.
Thank you.
And in fairness, I'll Van, do you want to go before Carrie or do you want to go after Carrie?
I don't want to follow Carrie. I do not want to follow Carrie.
Well, then you're up,
to
man.
deal with that.
Go.
Let me go first so I
Go.
get my stuff out the way, and then
We'll
she can bury Anthony with her knowledge. Look, I don't know, man, how to say this.
you're amongst friends. Say it however you want.
I don't know. We're in week what? This is week 9?
Technically,
We're going into
10.
week. It's 10.
yeah.
We're going into week 11.
This is week 10. This game was week 10. And I am a defender of people who get jumped on. And I've been defending this O-line all year. And my partner, before the season started, gave me some information, and I didn't believe him. The O-line stinks. I can't say nothing else about it. They are I'm sorry, this is supposed to be good news, right? Is this supposed to be good news, Kevin? Or just my summary?
Unmuted. No, it's
Just a summary, right?
It's summary. We'll dig in deeper as everyone gets to talk. So.
I don't know how much you can do as a play caller to put lipstick on this pig. I really don't. There's no lipstick. There's no mascara. There's no Maybelline. There's no anything that can make this thing look pretty. And it has taken me probably 8.5 weeks to really come to this. But for our offense to do anything this year and for what they have done this year is basically remarkable. Because, and this is the reason why, the angle of the camera for this game at Missouri is the worst in SEC. Everywhere, there's no camera. I don't understand ESPN can't find something else, or Missouri sucks that much. It was like this last year. It's been like this every time we've been there. This camera angle is garbage, almost as bad as the O-line. And because of that, I can only focus on the O-line because I can't see anything else.
Yeah.
I can't see pass routes. I can't see anything but what's happening between in the trenches. So it was not pretty.
All right, Carrie, high level from you, dear.
Who had two thumbs and in August said we were going to go to Missouri and struggle. Oh yeah, I did. Like I knew it. We don't play well down there.
We never
regardless of O-line, whatever.
We might win, but
the O-line is terrible. The win is a winner's win. I'll take it. We're to 6 wins. I'm very happy with that. The fact that we were even able to pull out of that struggle bus on the struggle bus with a win, the way we played, the defense. Wow, the defense bailed us out in that game time after time after time. And I'm sorry, but I get it. The O-line's not good, but our play calling, man, when you're lining up trips left or right, and it's obvious what you're going to do with the ball, like run Chris Rodriguez up the middle, like mix it up a little bit. It was like, if you watch that game from beginning to end, every time we lined up with either trips left or trips right, we were running the ball. And guess what? Missouri knew it. So I'm happy with the win. I'll take it. 6, we're going to a bowl.
We are bowl eligible. Terry reminded me of that yesterday in a text or DM or something. We'll go back to that in a second. A-Dot, he's here with us. What's your high level take from the game yesterday?
I'm not like Van. I'm not going to shy away from a woman's perspective. I'm not married like Van, so I don't have to answer to women, except my mother, Stella White, daughter. Carrie, and Van said this before. You said everybody knew. Did they not know what we were running when Lynn Bowden was at quarterback? Everybody knew we was running. Most of the time, when Benny Snell was there, everybody knew we was running. So don't give me that everybody knows we're going to run and we can't stop it. That's why we're going back to up front. Them boys got to do something. I don't care if you hold, bite, trip, you have to do something. And what my takeaway is, we did win the game. Great fellow. Put his career on the line for life. A game. And then here's one thing I'm surprised Carrie didn't hit this. Good fellow did.
Great fellow. I like that better.
Great fellow did probably end his career with it, with that. But they were 3 yards away from beating Georgia.
Yes.
They were some glove sticky from beating Auburn. So it's not like this was an easy game. These guys have played some good people. We got problems, and these problems need to be fixed. But I just don't think that our offensive line is allowing Scangarello to utilize his whole playbook. So that's why I'm upset with Carrie. And as Van and I have said, both now, not on this show. I've said it on this show. Van has said it other places to oppose Carrie's statement that even if they know what's coming, we could do that with Benny, and we also could do it with Lynn Bowden. So them knowing what's coming, just got to do with the Jimmies and Joes. We got the Jimmies and Joes, but they're just not being prepared, and that's why I blame the coaches.
In fairness,
I freaking hate it here. I hate it here. He's agreeing with me, Kevin. I hate it here. We need to take one of us off, man. I don't feel good about it.
Don't worry. We're it's only one topic. Let's keep talking, and then you two will be at each other. But Terry, kind of to respond to Anthony. Yeah, Lynn Bowden. Everybody knew he was going to run the ball. It's a different offensive line with Lynn Bowden versus what we have now. And I want to bury players and stuff, but it's I think we all agree that the line is a weak link for the team this year.
Yeah, and there's only so much you can do to overcome that. So it does. I think Anthony is correct. It does simplify the playbook because you can't do everything you want to do, but by the same token, you can't become predictable. And that's the issue with the play calling is the predictability with that offensive line. You've got to do something else. And right, you can say something's coming and still not stop it, but it does give your opponent the edge if they kind of know what's coming.
Okay. Corey, responding to what you've heard. It's okay to not agree with Anthony or Van. I'm the host of this show. Still.
Right.
I'm sorry. I
still think the quality of the O-line is just not there. I don't think it's that, the whole Lynn Bowden thing in 2019, they knew what we were running. They did, but like Terry said, still the quality of the O-line is just not there. Flax is struggling with his penalties mostly. I think Levis is trying to hurry up at some plays, and in other plays he's not trying to hurry at all, which is causing some sacks. So
what's the sack count right now? You put out a stat.
36.
36.
36.
And what was it last year? With
12,
Levis?
25, I think. Last year.
And we still got 4 games left. 4 games. Count the bowl.
Yep.
Okay.
And they count bowl games now.
We can count. Yeah, they can count bowl because we're bowl eligible. This is what, year 7 straight?
Bowl?
7. Anthony, back to you. Or no, Van. Is it Van?
I let Anthony go. He wants to go first since he agreed with me first.
No,
time.
let's stay because if we keep going back and forth, then I'll lose track. So Van, you go.
I'm trying to think of a better way to say this, but when people say predictable, that is a word that's thrown around almost like I love you. Do you know the exact play that's going to be ran? You can call run play, but do you know the thing is going to go to A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap? Do you think it's going to be a toss? Do you think it's going to be an inside run? Do you think it's going to be a wide zone run? Do you think it's going to be a gap scheme? Do you think it's going to be a pin and pull? There are so many different types of run that's why Lynn Bowden was so successful. You don't block it the same way every time. I'm telling you, this O-line might be the worst in SEC history.
SEC history,
dude. And look, SEC history only goes back to the 80s for me.
So it goes back to 93 as far as I'm concerned with you.
Dude,
Anthony, what was your year?
Was not bad.
What was your year,
95.
95. So Van, you were at 93, right?
I was there 93, 94, 95, and 96.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds a little over the top. Worst in history. There, Vanderbilt's in this league.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
Look, hold on, Kevin. And when I say this, and this is how I say this, right? Is that there's always O-lines that don't have 5 really good players. There's usually they have 4 or they can have 3, right? Mm-hmm. And you can mask 3, you can mask 4 for sure.
Good point.
3 gets a little complicated, but you can kind of scheme around those 2 guys. But when you have legitimately 5 guys who have issues, and I'm not saying all 5 are doing it at the same time, but you can't count on either one. Like last year, I could count on Drake Jackson handling his stuff. I mean, undoubtedly, I can just count on Drake is not going to make a mistake. I can count on Kennard probably making about 90% of his job being right. And Eli Cox, when he was there at guard, he was good. Right now, I'm not confident in any of the 5. There's not one of those guys where I say, okay, let's run behind him. Like, I don't care what happens on the other side. We run to his side, we're going to be good. And that's a problem. or predictability or not. And I'm gonna tell you, when you watch that game, the first 2.5 drives were pretty damn good. The first 2.5 drives were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And after that, you start realizing, C-Rod, dude, for people who's wondering why Smoke got in the game so much and why Lavelle Wright got some run,
It's really pretty physical. I mean,
it's because he was banged. He was getting tattooed.
oh yeah.
And I'm sure that was probably the hardest 100. What he had, 112, Corey?
Yes, correct.
That's
Yep.
the hardest 112 yards he has ever had in his life. That's going all the way back to Pee Wee football. I guarantee, dude, that 112 yards was hard.
Yeah,
that was
I
not
agree.
one. You know how sometimes you get a 30-yarder that's easy. Anthony will tell you that. You get a 30-yarder, you get a 40-yarder, and it comes out to be 112, but you like had all your runs like 5 or 6. You broke 2. Dude, he broke none. He had no big run. I think the farthest run he had was like 12 yards or something.
Yeah,
That's a hard 112, dude.
That's a very good point. Yeah. So
Now I'm high. I gotta take my
all right. Carrie, follow up Van.
So I watched both Van and Anthony play on the field, and in the Bill Curry years, you know what we used to chant in the stands, because this was Bill Curry's offense: up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, punt, up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, punt. And I'm not kidding. And that's a little bit what it felt like yesterday. In fact, John and I were sitting here and we said, "Hey, this is a little bit reminiscent of Bill Curry, kind of." In terms of kind of running the same play, the CFO, kind of run the same play over and over and over and over again, and really getting no result. I don't know. I mean, I get it, like with the Lynn Bowden and the predictability and the stuff like that. But I guess I feel like that we have a quarterback who they're still saying is a potential first round pick. That's what the boards are saying right now. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on ESPN. And, you know, can we mix it up? I don't know. The line sucks. I will say props to Goodfellow, great fellow. I really like that, Anthony, a lot, for not kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone, which I thought that's what he was going to do. When he picked it up and punted it, I was like, you go, guy. And I want to stress the importance of the long snapper position. Nobody ever talks about the long snapper, but it is a very, very important position in the game of football. And when you don't have a good long snapper, it shows, and it can really mess you up and lose a game. I think long snapper is a really, really important position, and I think we learned that yesterday.
Follow that up, Anthony.
When you talked about the predictability, and she did bring up, they say, and that's what I like, Carrie. They say will, and I'm going to say this: our offensive line insufficiencies, and our quarterback could possibly be first round quarterback. He has problems. There are routes that are called. If you watch the locker room Wednesday, 9 to 10 p.m., 9 to whenever, I'm going to say 9 to whenever Eastern Standard Time, you will see that there are options available. A lot of times when the options are over the middle, Will does not release the ball. He looks at for some reason he's uncomfortable throwing over the middle. So offensive line not giving him time, Will not want to throw over the middle. Scangarello knows this. Why do you think 80 and 90% of our passes are thrown on the perimeter, somewhere outside? And if it's on the hash or somewhere, there's usually a defensive back breaking on it. There's a lot of issues we got, and I think that Scangarello's getting a lot of pressure. Will is, as Carrie said, a projected top first round quarterback. We are playing now the media game with a lot of people. There's a lot of media things going on. So when people get mad at Chris Rodriguez getting 6 yards to carry, 6 yards to carry, and we win the game, C-Rod is still our best option based off our offensive line. But as Van said, I will say this really quickly before we get off here. Before we move on, I played against Northeast Louisiana, which is now Louisiana Monroe, and Van apparently was at that game. I didn't talk to Van at that game. That was next to Mississippi State, the hardest hitting team we played against. We beat the dog out of them, but man, did I walk out of there with some respect for those guys. So I think that's what happened to C-Rod yesterday.
Okay. We touched on it. I think it was Van said it. Rodriguez earned every fucking yard he got yesterday, and he was a beast. But this is unpopular. This will be an unpopular take for some people. If I need a play to happen, I trust Rodriguez over Will Levis. I know he's projected as a first round pick, but that's clearly to me on potential, because he's nowhere near the top quarterback in college football this season. Stats, all right, all right. People who kind of know me too, there's stuff I'll say just to get the pot going. But and Van, I want to say this. I love Levis. No, don't get me wrong. I love Will Levis. But this has not been, to me, and I guess it was one reason why, Corey, I did reach out to you and ask for a comparison for offensive numbers from last year to this year. We're down in yards productivity this year, correct? Versus last year. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Now is that all the new OC? I still struggle with the fact that Will holds on to the ball too long. The offensive line always seems to get 100% of the blame, but that's not fair. I don't think it's fair. Van, am I wrong? Just staying with that as far as
I mean, he held on to the ball a long time last year, if you remember correctly. I mean, how many sacks we had last year? Like 20 something. It wasn't like we had like 8 last year and then we went to 36. He held the ball too long last year.
It's just more
because they are
emphatic
worse
this year.
No,
right?
Because they are worse. And here's why it looks worse, because the perception, not the perception, the visual is worse. Last year he could sit back there a little time, then all of a sudden it will shrink on him. This year there's no shrink. It's coming right down the shoot a lot of time. So it just looks worse. But here's the difference. This is what I want people to understand. I'm a quarterback, and I love quarterbacks. There's been I'm gonna keep my mouth a little cleaner today. There's been a ton of great college quarterbacks that are not NFL quarterbacks.
Agreed.
A ton. I mean, I can go down a list of how many great quarterbacks.
Vince Young, Ryan Leaf. You can say.
No, I love Ty Detmer. I love
Detmer was
Ty
great.
Detmer.
Yes.
No. I love me some David Klingler. I used to do this when I was in school because I had the U of H, and I went to Episcopal as turned over. That was the E, right? Big David Klingler fan. Big Andre Ware fan. Love all these just big time college put up crazy numbers. It's not based on that. Because I keep saying this, the hashes are right in the middle of the field. Every throw is a long throw. In NFL, you need arm talent. If you ain't got arm talent, you will be picked off all the time. Hence why Todd Detmer didn't last. Hence why some other quarterbacks didn't last. What Will does, Will has some issues that when you are able to spend not some of your day, but when you're able to spend all of your day of honing your craft, he's going to have to get better at those. And I think with reps, remember, this is only his second year starter. Heaton Hook has started 4 years for 2 different teams, and he played at JUCO. So he's had a lot of reps. Will hasn't.
He's only a second-year starter because of his performance, dude.
He's a second-year starter because he didn't beat out Sean Clifford.
Well, that's what he said. I think it's what Anthony said.
It's not about his performance. Hold on. How many guys have been backup quarterbacks to Harvard quarterbacks, and all of a sudden, Kyle Trask? Do you think Felipe, what's his name?
Franks.
Franks,
right?
Was better than Kyle Trask? Kyle Trask only started because of we had a linebacker that hurt him, right? So Kyle Trask would have never seen the light of day. It happens all the time. So Will Levis' problem is he's only had 2 years. If you want to say he's not good, I don't have no problem with you. He has
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's
No,
not
not
what
you.
I'm saying.
I'm not saying he's not
In
good.
general.
Either.
I'm
not
talking
saying
about generally
he's not good
speaking.
either.
Generally
Okay,
speaking,
okay.
everybody. Because there are a lot of people. Trust me. Last week after the Tennessee game, there was a shit ton of people who said some things. The guy has arm talent. The guy has. We have seen right now his ability to just withstand adversity. Not saying it's not all. Some of it's not. Some of it is his own bringing on. But what I'm saying is his ability to be available. The greatest ability is availability. He's always available. And it seems like he always wants to play. All right. I'll leave with this because we got a big panel. I want y'all to check Heaton Hooker. I think it was the Bama game. They took Heaton Hooker out the game to throw a Hail Mary. The Hail Mary wasn't on the 30-yard line, on the 40. It was on the 50-yard line.
That was due to arm strength, right?
Arm
Because,
strength.
yeah.
Why would you not throw the So the guy has stuff, and I said this, everybody jumping on this bandwagon now. Don't let me pull up a tweet. I said this last year, the middle of the season. He's Josh Allen. He's a Josh Allen, not our Josh Allen, that other Josh Allen that plays
Bills,
for Buffalo.
right? Yeah.
He is Josh Allen. And if you don't think he can perform on the next level, that's on you. I think it would be a little better for him depending on what team he goes on. You don't want to be like Tim Couch goes to. Well, I don't know. He's been on the offensive line like that, so he might be all right. You don't want to go to a team without talent up front.
Yeah, I'm as a prospect, I could see the talent there at the next level. He's got a little ways to go with decision making too, because just some of those passes into coverage, I struggle with too. It's all right. We got to keep, because last week literally we spent 60 minutes of show talking the Tennessee game, and we're at I don't know, it's solid 30 minutes. But let me I got to give a shout out to people who are hanging with us. They got some comments, and let's see who we got here. Niner Mike, good evening, everyone. Ball State, go Vols. We still have a chance. You still have a chance. Still have a chance.
I like Ball State coming in when they got whipped.
There was
But
they only scored 3 points on us in the second half. So but anyway.
Someone said that?
That's their defense was on Niner Mike, it was a fun weekend. It definitely was. Carter. Oh, here's a question. What does the calendar look like for a possible return of Square and Jones? Good question. Anybody got answers? You guys are. I'm not media. I mean,
Trevor Wallace says it don't matter.
Fact.
Wallace he had a game.
It don't matter.
Yeah, it would be nice to have Square and Jones in that rotation too, but Wallace did play his ass off.
I got to interject.
No,
men's soccer team won.
Oh, they did.
They came down 1-0 at the half, came back to win 2-1. They are on to the semifinals of the Sun Belt, Fun Belt. So everything's cool, period.
Everything's
cool.
Let me give a shout out to Michelle Morton. Michelle says, doing good, guys. Shot 79 today in Arizona. Throw that up. I can kick some guys' ass in golf. Probably so.
Why you didn't say ass? You had to put those.
Michelle, you don't need.
We're adults.
Yeah, we're adults here.
You need a sense of that.
But I want to give a shout out to Michelle and her family. I know they're going through some stuff with her. Excuse me, her son. Michelle, obviously, we're all fam here. We wish you and your family the best, and thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And hopefully, we're just shooting the shit and having fun, and we can just, for a moment, take your mind off some things. So, but always good to see Ann Anderson. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, Kevin, can I?
Yeah. Well, real quick, USM Cat Fan ADOT. They counted the stats for all the bowl games you went to.
Absolutely not.
No,
they did not.
Cat Fan,
they
that is
not.
not.
That's. I was gonna say
that's
not true.
That's not true. Oh. Okay.
No,
when
that's
did
not
they
true.
start keeping postseason
2002.
2000. Okay, and Anthony knows.
Oh, that's good to know. That is good.
No, it is crazy. It will bump some people up a little bit that prior to 2000, what was
2002.
Yeah, because Barry Sanders' bowl game doesn't count. Like we had the 5 touchdown, like almost 300 yards rushing bowl game doesn't count toward like his 20 whatever regular.
Right.
Like it's look
ridiculous.
at Barry Sanders' 88 season. It is the most ridiculous thing you've
Stupid.
ever seen.
It was stupid.
Like
So
just
good.
kickoff returns, like ridiculous. Like 4 touchdowns a game.
Oklahoma State's trying to see if he still has eligibility left right now.
Mullet
Him
County.
and Thurman Thomas in the
come back
same
and play,
backfield
too.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Last time I saw him, he could
all
come
right,
back
this
and
is
play.
Cat Fan gets to. I'll give him a chance to get it right this time. If the long snapper gets the yips, that will eventually screw with the holder and the kicker. Even the long snapper makes a catch with a good snap.
I'm telling you, long snapper, man. Hey kids, if you want to play football, go practice your long snapping because you'll get a scholarship. I'm telling you what. You don't compete with all the quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers. Like, hone your long snapping skills.
JD all in the house. JD, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Ann's comment, we were talking about Will Levis. He gets happy feet. Fair to say about Levis? I'm not trying to pick on him. Or anything, but
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and any of you can debunk this if that's the case. If you are injured, knowing you do not have escapability, knowing your offensive line is like wet paper bag,
he's not nowhere near 100%.
I'm not sitting back
right
there.
now.
I'm not Dan Marino. I'm not any of them dudes sitting back there looking for my options because I know these dudes gonna be here in less than 3 seconds. So you tend to have a little happy feet. So
I don't think he has happy feet. Like when I think of happy feet, he doesn't have happy feet. He has cement feet more than happy feet because he gets into the top of the drop and he fucking stays there. He never hitches forward. Yeah. It's a bad habit. I think somebody else has that where Heaton Hooker has the same thing. He doesn't move either. He gets back there,
but he gets the ball off a lot quicker. I don't get. I'm struggling with the
system is different.
Terry.
The system. Go ahead, Terry.
Well, real quick, I give a shout out Jordan Coleman. Jordan's joined the show for the first time. I love the show. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
There's great shows. Follow these cats, no pun intended, on their shows too. They've got some good stuff too. But Jordan, thanks for hanging. Terry, the floor is yours. Go.
Did Kentucky win yesterday?
Yeah, but why can't
I have no. I mean, hold on. Siri, did the University of Kentucky football team beat Missouri yesterday?
Siri, are you serious, Siri?
Okay, yeah. So Kentucky did win.
Yes,
I just wanted to check.
But this is the breakdown from yesterday. I mean, if we just stopped at Kentucky won, then the next topic is previewing Vanderbilt. We can't.
So
okay, I didn't know. I just wanted to double check. I apologize for the interruption.
No, Terry's absolutely right. We did win yesterday. If Siri didn't say it, I will. Yeah, Terry, we absolutely did win yesterday. But I will say
Carrie.
At some point on this show, I feel like somewhere in the past that I said that Will Levis was too slow on his checkdowns. And I don't remember if I was roundly chastised by that or not. But yeah, I mean, and I still think he's too slow on his checkdowns. And also, Kevin, I will say that, I don't like to reveal my sources ever. And this is not written in stone. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'll put it out there as, take it with a grain of salt or a spoon of salt or whatever you want to take it with. But I heard somebody told me that Levis has been hurt since the beginning of the season with a hamstring problem.
He's nowhere near 100%.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Again, I have no basis in fact in this. This is totally rumor, grain, spoonful of salt, whatever you want to take it with. But I have heard that he has been hampered by a hamstring injury since the beginning of the season, and they have been trying to kind of baby him through it.
Kevin, can I ask a question?
No.
Well, real quick, I don't know if y'all remember this game. I love sharing shit. You can give me a second.
I'm going back. Let me go back to just tweeting in. So
do you all remember this game Can you all how many body parts? I mean, there should be something on Levis right now
Operation.
on
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Operation.
Water on the knee.
That was my game.
Hands on the knees. Hands on the knees.
All
No,
right, who said they had this up? Go ahead.
I want to ask this question, and I'm pretty sure Van is probably going to answer it. Anybody can answer it. They said Will has not been healthy since week 1. Any of you, can you tell me any MFN football player who was healthy after week 1? I'll wait.
No, it's a fair take.
So
I would venture to
Justin
say
Wade.
probably look at, was Bryce Young, did they play a cupcake the first week? Probably. There
his
is
shoulder would
okay
be
in
sore
that
for throwing touchdowns though. His shoulder.
his arm is but okay. I get your point.
His hip will be sore from dancing so much. Look, I'm gonna stop here. Look, there's a such thing as arm arrogance, and that's what Will has. And that's why Will is late on throws, because he believes he can freaking throw it through a wall, and it doesn't matter how tight the window. Hence, who
Never
has the
heard
most
that.
yards passing in
Never
NFL?
heard
I think it's a guy named Brett Favre, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the most interception in NFL history? I think it's a guy named Brett Favre. Or is that touchdowns? It's some Brett Favre has some record. Touchdown yards, one of them. Who has the most interceptions too? Because he has arm arrogance, and that's why Will doesn't check the ball down, because he believes he can throw it 50 yards down the field with no problem.
Isn't a coach? Isn't the OC or the head coach kind of like, come on, Will, calm down?
When the ball is snapped, OC can't do shit except hope he does what he told him to do
In the moment, but
That's
after
all
the
you can
fact.
do. That's all you can
After
do.
the fact. But
Well,
still,
okay. So Anthony and I will say this: when we played, there wasn't a guy behind us that we thought that we would have worried about stealing our spot. There is nobody behind Will that is making him scared to say,
clearly,
"You taking my spot."
Right.
And that allows you to coach be. All right, coach, and you do the same thing, because there's no guy who is better than you behind you.
I'll say this. I'm gonna say this really quick, Kevin. Your question about go check out Sunday morning's Sports Talks podcast. We talked about the same topic, but I did want to address Carrie's thing on the check down Will.
Okay.
Carrie, I love you to death. I love you. I love you like my third sister. Because only had two.
He had to come. Came here to be like, wait, one. I got another one somewhere. Two.
Well, no, I'm not gonna tell you the true reason I had to count.
what would be impressive, Carrie, if he has a fourth sister? That would be impressive.
No, I don't want to put a somber mood. The only reason it took me a while because one of my sisters is not alive anymore.
Oh,
but,
not bad.
I know that's why they. But I do say this: Will Levis checking down is like Steph Curry settling for a layup when he knows his long ball is deadly. And I think that is part of UK's problem. I think Scangarello is trying to scheme toward Will being first round pick, using his arm talent, but all the components aren't there for him to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. USM Cab fan, that check down with Will or with
Yes,
C-Rod.
he did.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah, I got that. Okay. It's 9:21 and we're still talking Missouri. Terry, remind us.
Call play.
That was right. No, good point. You're right. Terry, remind us. Did we win yesterday?
I thought so. Yesterday afternoon, that's the way I felt. I looked at my wife. I said, "Kentucky win." She said, "They won." I said, "They won." That's what I thought. But things is different here in the Midwest, so I don't know. I don't know if y'all watched another game I didn't watch, but I did watch Kentucky go on the road in the SEC and win.
That's fair.
I mean, I don't know. So Corey Price, you the numbers guy, did at the end of yesterday's contest, did the Kentucky football team have more points than the Missouri football team? Is that an accurate statement?
That is accurate, yeah.
And so as American football goes, the team with the most points at the end of the game is declared the winner. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And so that has happened 6 times this season. Is that a correct statement?
That's correct, yeah.
And so to be bowl eligible Here in college football, does it take 6 wins?
It takes 6. Yep.
So at this point, Mr. Corey Price, numbers man, would you declare the Kentucky football Wildcats to be bowl eligible?
They are. Yeah.
And so how many years in a row have we been bowl eligible?
7.
Prior to that, how many bowls did the University of Kentucky football team go to?
Ooh, prior to that?
Not many.
Many. No.
So it would be a fair assessment to say going to 7 straight bowls would be considered progress.
Yeah, I would say so.
So a situation where you go to no bowls and then you actually go to bowls, would you consider that the program progressing in the right direction? In your expert opinion, Corey Price, with the number?
Okay, DA Terry Brown.
Say, you sound like a fucking DA right now.
The witness.
I'm simply asking questions to make sure that
You're the witness.
Terry, hold on. But Terry, with all your questions, and I'm with you. I'm on the bandwagon. But are you concerned, or do you think they have plateaued? It's because 6 wins, that's 4 out of conference wins and 2 SEC wins. Do you think they have plateaued? Even with
as a program or for this season, sir?
As a program.
As a program, I don't think so. I've said this repeatedly on this show and any other show I'm invited on, my own show, Cats Talk Wednesday. We're 6 to 8 Eastern on Wednesdays. You can also find us on Roku. I have always said, and I tell Kevin Hale this every week, watch more football. I believe the Kentucky football team is at like 40 other Division I or 1A FBS teams where you reach a point where it's like it's a fight. You get to 6, but getting to 7, 8, 9 wins, it's just a fight. That's where I feel most teams live from week in to week out. I do, UMC Cat. Absolutely.
Let me just hit rewind about 30 seconds ago, and I'll cover his where you can find him, the time, and all the and the Roku thing. You know, I'm starting to take offense. You keep throwing that in my face. I'm kidding. I'm proud of you.
And he's sponsored by Gatorade. He hasn't thrown that out yet.
Well, you know, after a long, hard day of podcasts, another quenches my thirst, quite like Gatorade, the thirst quencher.
That's where the slam that was an alley-oop, boy. That was great.
Lemon lime's my favorite. What's yours?
He knocked it out of the park. Yeah. All right. Missouri, we did win yesterday. I think out of here at the 9:25 mark, we finally, the DA has convinced us that he's made his case. The jury has sided with DA Brown. Cats won yesterday. Missouri 21-17, bowl eligible. Another shout out to Rodriguez's badass running, and my God, the punter again. I don't know, and I'm obviously we all want Great Fellow to be well, but
that's keeping on Great Fellow. He had a punt prior to that 50-yard to pin him down inside the 5.
That was a
beauty. That was
huge.
He was on fire on Saturday.
I tell you what, I have to admit, I don't think I've ever seen that play happen. So honestly, I was like, you know, when he recovered the ball and kicked it, I think I was like a lot of Missouri fans that, you know, he's fair game, but you know, then you get the rules laid out, and the fact that he's still within the
tackle box.
Tackle box. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Looking ahead, we got Vanderbilt next Saturday. Mr. Brown, Mr. DA, District Attorney for the for BBN.
Bump bump.
Law and Order.
I'm gonna start every time before Terry talks. You need that sound effect. Dun, dun.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Terry, what you got next week?
Cats win. Hopefully it's not as close. But they just
last
need
3
to get
games of the season are all at home too. By the way. So,
yeah. So I'm, I take care of Vanderbilt, so we have some good juju moving forward.
What say you, Corey? You'll be in the press box.
Yes. Well, I can hope that our offense can get it going. Their defense is not great. They're giving up like 37 points a game. So if there was a game where we can finally get over the hump and score over 30, this would probably be the game. Hopefully,
definitely an opportunity. And then with Georgia lurking the following week, maybe sit some players in the second half. Not thinking ahead too far. Van, what do you say? What do you got for Vandy next week?
Vandy is the perfect remedy for playing some really tough defenses they have played these last couple of weeks. And not as far as just they are tough to scheme against, just aggressive attacking style defense. Tennessee is downhill all the time, and Missouri is downhill all the time. We won't have that this week. I think this is a perfect opportunity to hopefully rest Will a lot this game. And I think this is a chance to see. I want to see Wade play. All this hubbub. Oh, he's doing great. Well, show me. I already saw what Kyle Sharon could do. Give me a chance to look at Wade. And this is a chance. I don't know if we can take care of business like I think we could. I don't think we're going to put up 30 points in the first half where we can just put them in the third quarter and let them roll. But that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a chance where we roll them up. In second half, we put in some of these youngsters and on offense and see what they can do, because we need to find out what Wade can do. If what I'm hearing is true. If it's not true, then that's fine. But this Vandy is a perfect dose, perfect remedy for what we've been having to face lately.
Carrie, Vandy.
So Vandy's not great. We're gonna win the game. That's just my straight up off the top opinion. But Vandy they're not terrible. They can score. They put up 27 on South Carolina. They lost 36-27, but they put up 27 points, and I believe it was at South Carolina. We lost to South Carolina. Just saying. But no, we're not going to lose this game. Our defense is way above their level, and we're going to put up points. And also, I plan to go into this game. I fully admit I did not go into the Vandy Joker game. I was in the parking lot. We looked at each other and said, "It's raining, it's cold. Let's go to Country Boy." And that was the right decision, because I sat in Country Boy.
40-0 game.
Yeah, I sat in Country Boy warm with some beer and watched it on the TV and made the correct decision.
Anthony, what you got for Vandy? Short and sweet.
I'm a little bit upset with my partner, Van Hiles, and I will give him a mulligan, because Van Hiles doesn't know what it feels like to be up on a team by 40 points or 50 points where you can put backups in. But I hated my last couple games when they wanted to see what R2 Spinner could do. Let's see what Kendrick Shanklin can do. I'm still trying to write my NFL resume. Like, I'm not a first or second rounder. I want to get mine. So if we get up by 40 or 50, which Stoops is not known to do, so I'm not sure we're going to see those guys. I would like us to establish dominance, but we're not going to get to the point where we're going to be up enough to put those guys in. Mm-hmm. And as a senior, I did not like when we were busting teams up that they wanted to rotate R2 Spinner in. Let's see what he can do next year. So I think it is going. I would, like Carrie said, we are going to win. Am I really interested in seeing some of the younger guys? I don't know, because the only position I don't think we've went through the whole depth chart is quarterback. Everybody else, we've seen a lot of talent all over the field. Defensive back, linebacker, D-line, we have a strong rotation. O-line, we rotated. Receiver, we have a lot of different guys there. Running back, we're going to win the game. I just want to get out safely.
I like to see Goodwin. I like to see Goodwin. I like to see Bingham. I would like to see Goodwin.
I would like to see Goodwin. And hold on. And as Van is saying, and I know Terry was thinking this, I don't want to steal your thunder, attorney Terry, but somebody said on Sunday Morning Sports Talk, well, we don't want to take somebody. At this point, red shirts are out the window. They can play 4 games and still keep their eligibility.
That's a good point too. Yeah,
we can play people now.
Kevin, real quick, I want to thank Anthony for naming my favorite UK player ever. Like, for real, R2 Spinner is my favorite
He's a
UK football
badass.
player ever. Like,
Badass.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Artus Penner is my favorite. John, my husband's like, oh man, he never liked the. I don't know why, but I loved Artus Penner. He's my favorite UK football player ever.
Hey, what do you
likes
know?
old football players. She like really old football players.
Okay. Well, real quick. Yeah, Jordan says we probably won't get enough points to see some of the young guys, unfortunately.
He's probably
Yeah,
right.
he's probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a good point about the Stoops and run. Now, we're not. He's not going to ever run up the score until the 12th game of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Louisville's got to
amount.
catch all this. Yeah.
but hey, if we're up 24-0 at the end of the third quarter, I think he will put some of the young guys. He won't change quarterbacks probably. Probably wouldn't put Wade in, but you probably would get Goodwin in the game at that point. If we're up 24-0, we're never gonna not 30 or 40-0, but if it's 24-0 in the end of the third, I think he would play. There's only a couple more drives left.
I disagree with USMC Cat fan against Louisville, absolutely, because I think it was on the fourth touchdown when Will Levis hurdled that Louisville player. So we gonna keep grinding. Louisville's the one game he's gonna beat the shit out of him if he can.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Always. That 12th game of the season, we can always count on points if they're in points if they're there.
Isn't it amazing that people are complaining about a coach that gets up a couple of touchdowns and then he grinds? I don't think I ever got up 2 touchdowns when I played in any game. 2 touchdowns? We might have got up 3-0, maybe 6-0, but 2 touchdowns? And now we're complaining? Wow.
Van, we've already established that the program has progressed. Do I need to get Corey back on the stand?
Stand.
Bump.
Law and order.
I'd like to call Corey Price to the stand.
We would like to re-examine Corey Price.
Re-examine, yeah. All right, we're good. God, 9:35, and we're still talking. I mean, it was a huge football weekend. Let me start with it was weekend 10 takeaways from the weekend. Let's start with the college football playoffs top 4. Tennessee, we knocked 2 of them out here. Tennessee at Georgia. That was supposed to be the main event of Saturday. It was probably argued now that LSU at Bama game was just as big too. But staying with the Tennessee Georgia game, Georgia's just on another fucking level, Terry. I thought it would have been a little closer, but my God, Georgia, and I've seen Tennessee people on social media, they only scored 3 points on us. They just took you out of your game. Yeah.
That's loser talk. But, for me, Georgia's the real deal, because if the argument's going to be made, Tennessee's a top team, and I think you can make that argument, and Oregon has played themselves back into being a top team, and Georgia beat the shit out of both of them. So Georgia is doing something a little bit different.
Right.
I'm not ready to throw the dirt on Alabama just yet. I mean, for maybe this year, maybe, but until Nick Saban graduates a class that without a championship ring, they're like Michael Myers. I'm not counting Alabama out. We did it after like 2010. We did it after 2015. We kept saying Alabama can't be Alabama. So this year, but there's no telling what Alabama recruiting in the transfer portal, because everybody's like, oh, this is it for Alabama. NIL is still a thing, right?
Big thing. Yeah.
And Alabama, there's a chance they could have 3 losses. And one thing I know about college football, the folks down in Alabama won't have that.
No.
Not at all.
No.
So
when was the last time that at this time of the season, I think, Bama still has a chance, but realistically, 2-loss Alabama with what's left.
2010 is the first time they've had 2 losses since before the Iron Bowl.
Gotcha.
It ain't
And before the Iron Bowl.
It ain't
Well,
no, I don't think they'll lose to the Iron Bowl.
They missed the playoff in 2019, 2020-ish, because they ended up playing
LSU
Michigan.
year, right?
Yeah, they ended up playing Michigan in the whatever bowl. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
But,
I
but
think
you
it was
can't
LSU
write
team.
you can't write
No.
Alabama off
Of course not.
just
No.
yet. But for this year, yeah. But
Yeah.
Georgia's the real deal.
Huge. Corey, staying with what was your when it comes to Georgia? I mean, they're what's going to keep them from repeating?
Maybe
Well, obviously a loss to someone else, but
right. I mean, maybe an injury to
yeah.
Bennett or something. Maybe I don't know.
Impact player, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I was at a wedding this Saturday, so I missed a lot of football. I did get to watch Bama and LSU, and that was crazy finish. Jason Taylor's son being clutch, the touchdown, and the two going for two to end it. That was crazy.
Talking about some balls. I
Yep.
mean, that was to do that in that first overtime. Van is a former player. You're watching this LSU. What was your take? Right? Good call. Well, obviously it was a good call because it worked. But
I mean, it's kind of a good call because next overtime you got to go for two anyway, and if you don't,
True.
and if you tie it in, then you on 2-point conversion. So for me, I always said if I'm the second guy, I'm going to be the first guy the next time. So why don't I go for it this time when I got to go for it next? So I like the call. But this is what I love about the game. And this is a personal rant. I am not an LSU fan. I've never liked LSU. And I was at home when Tommy Hodson threw the pass to the fullback and it created a hurricane, and we felt it. I live, I think, about 9 minutes away from LSU, so I felt it. There were a lot of MFers when Saban left that all of a sudden became Alabama fans, lifelong LSU fans. All of a sudden started toting around to Alabama, putting stickers on their cars, Alabama, all this Alabama love. And when Alabama started going, oh, I love me some Alabama, in the heart of freaking Baton Rouge, in the heart of Baton Rouge. And I can't wait until I go out Monday and just lick up all the tears of these sorry-ass Alabama fans who don't have anything to do with Alabama. And I can't wait to freaking just, y'all don't know me, but I can be really petty. And it's going to come out on a level that has never been seen before.
be sure to watch his social media this week.
Oh, it's going to be glorious because I have a bunch of friends who were LSU fans and all of a sudden start wearing Bama stuff because of Nick Saban. And I told them, it's not a good look. Well, trust me, they will hear from me on Monday.
All right. I think we probably could talk an hour about non-Kentucky college football weekend, Carrie, but give me your hot take, and we'll go back around. There's still a lot.
So can I get all my things out because I wrote stuff down?
What?
Yes, because I have that much in my head about Week 10. It's just so here's something for Corey, and he will enjoy this. It's a stat. SMU beat Houston in the highest scoring game in regulation in college football history. History, y'all. It was insane. Like it was like 49 to I don't even know what in the first half.
No, they had 56. They had 56
points. It was insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane, right? So that was super awesome. Let's see what I have written down here. I'm gonna start writing stuff down. So Sunbelt has beaten 2 SEC teams. Neither of them were Kentucky, but A&M went down to Appy State, and Arkansas went down to Liberty. Liberty yesterday. Yes, that guy's knee was down. That 2-point conversion did not count. Yes, so 2 Sunbelt, Funbelt, and I got to give all the love to Coastal Carolina for beating Appy State at Coastal. I love Coastal Carolina. I love me some Magical Money Chickens. They're awesome. I love them. Clemson. Can we all agree that Clemson is a fraud? Can we finally just like agree with that? Fraudulent. Yes. Fraudulent. Yes. Dabo, fraudulent. Absolutely fraudulent. Bama, Bama just isn't Bama. They're just not. Their defense is probably one of the worst I've seen. They're the most undisciplined Bama team in the Saban era that I have watched, to tell you the truth. And I'm not talking like, dirty plays or horse collars or that kind of thing. I'm talking just penalties in general. Like, I've never seen a more penalized Alabama team, I don't think. TCU, yes, let's go Horned Frogs. Let's go Hypnotoads. I love me some Sonny Dykes. I love what TCU is doing in the Big 12. I love it. I think they have a high-powered offense, and I think they deserve to be in the CFP talk. I really honestly do.
I think they will be.
Also, Brock Bauer, the tight end, the sophomore tight end for Georgia, in my opinion, is one of the best players in college football right now.
Yes.
That guy can catch the ball. He can block. He can do everything. He is amazing.
And their other tight end, like 6'7", 270 or something
he's
crazy.
He's ridiculous. But Brock Bauer, man, that guy, he is amazing.
He's
amazing.
A true sophomore too, right?
Yes.
So
he was playing high school football 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Year and a half. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. That's
is
kind of
Hugh Freeze gonna be a coach in the SEC next year?
If Auburn doesn't hire him, they're insane.
You got a lot of baggage. It's gonna be.
He does, but Auburn shouldn't care because Auburn sucks right now. So, although I like Cadillac,
and he's got
Williams,
wins over Bama in the past.
I like Cadillac Williams as their interim coach, and also this is the last thing I'll say. Mike Leach is insane. He is a weird dude, man. If you have not seen the footage of him on the sideline yesterday, his receivers sitting in chairs, he talks to them, the receivers get up, they go away, and he picked up the chairs like he was cleaning up the church basement. I think the guy, he lives in his head, and he thinks we all can hear it. So, yeah.
I'm for Deion Sanders to Auburn. Prime time Auburn. I need Deion in SEC. Now.
I like it, but I think Deion should go to Georgia Tech and then jump to the SEC.
No. Don't take him to the dumpster. Let's get him somewhere where he got some talent.
Miami.
I'm the president of Deion Sanders to Auburn.
Okay. No, honestly, Miami should throw Cristobal's stuff in the ocean. And he need to go because they're terrible. They're absolutely awful.
I mean, they got whipped.
They got run by Florida State. Like
the guy hasn't forgot how to coach, though. I'm gonna just tell you, the guy hasn't forgot how to coach. There, I'm just letting you know that.
I tell you what,
I'm done.
Our man Jordan, man, he's coming in here blazing. You can say the same thing about Kentucky. You said about Alabama, most undisciplined team if seen in Stoops' era, or at least right up there.
Corey Price has the best stat. Corey,
me.
If we have how many penalties? Are we 10-0?
Me.
Corey is back to the stands. I call Corey
Mr. Price
attorney. The defense
return to the stand. Well, what's the stat, Corey? Is it 10-0?
Since 2016, we're 10-0 in games we have at least 10 penalties.
Let's rack them up. Rack them up every week.
That's right.
When the Cats get 10, they're going to win.
Cheat more. Cheating wins.
When the Cats get 10, they're going to win, baby.
That's right. That's Terry's right.
It's only If you ain't cheating, you ain't whatever that.
Trying to win.
Yeah. Vol Steak, as a reminder, Tennessee's they're not.
No, thanks to LSU, they're not actually.
Yeah. Anthony, before we get to everyone's take on who will be the top 4 in the college football playoff coming up Tuesday, what was your takeaway from this past weekend? Non-Kentucky.
Listen to my people talk. I was with Van. Can you imagine Auburn being affiliated with Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, and Charles Barkley?
Ooh.
Man, you talking about NIL? No matter what sports you want,
Cam Newton,
we got you covered.
Cam Newton,
Cam Newton, Cam ain't. I'm talking about Hall of Famers already.
Okay, that's fair.
So, and one thing I want to ask Carrie, she talked. Is Coastal Carolina is we don't need no kitty cats, we need dogs. Is that him?
No, Coastal Carolina's they're to the Chanticleers. I don't
That ain't
know.
the coach who said we need dogs.
I think it was the coach that said that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it? Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was, and I just missed that. But
That was he might not be the coach there anymore, but that's what.
No, he's there.
Do I got my wristbands on? Do I got my?
No, that's him.
Okay, yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
Carrie. So
Yeah,
you got to do a little
Sorry.
more research. Hey, see,
Yeah.
I took Carrie to the curb once. Now, if I could ever take Corey to the curb, then I'm gonna feel like my life here on
You ain't
Earth
doing that.
has been. So that's what I took from that when she brought up Coastal Carolina. That's all. Every time Coastal Carolina comes, all I can think we need dogs. That's all I can think of. But when we say that, man, I thought we were better than Georgia, and I thought coming this season we had a better athletes, not better athletes, but I thought we had a better continuity of players that could beat Georgia.
Really?
But just like Coastal Carolina's coach said, they are dogs.
They are dogs.
So we may as well just chalk it up. 8-4.
That's not going to be a pretty game.
I don't know. I look, and I understand what Anthony's saying continuity because they lost the freaking whole defense. I mean, come on. They had how many first rounds out that defense? This defense can keep us in this game.
No, I agree.
I'm not saying we're going to beat them.
We just don't. We won't have this offense to score on them.
I don't. Look, when you put your offense in good field position repeatedly, they're gonna put up 3 points. Well, maybe not 3 points. I'm sorry. We ain't got a field goal kicker. I scratch my statement. Scratch it.
Or Ruffalo.
Shit.
He used to be good. Now it's all in mental. And let's don't talk about Georgia. It's 2 weeks away. Terry, who's your top four after this weekend? Who are your top four heading into the committee's selection on Tuesday?
I mean, you got to go Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU in that order, right? I think you would have to be undefeated, and you figure that Ohio State, Michigan, that winner, will advance. The loser drops out. So Tennessee's right there, Oregon's right there. But man,
any scenario,
Georgia's looking tough, man.
Yeah, I mean it's Georgia and everybody else. I'm with you. We'll stay with those. Okay, those are your four. Corey, what you got? Who's your four?
I think Terry's four. I assume we probably all agree it's Georgia, Ohio State.
Don't be coerced by the DA.
No, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that they're the top four teams right now.
That's fair. Van, same.
Y'all know how I love me some Pac-12. Love me some Pac-12.
You feeling it with Oregon?
I love me some Pac-12.
Okay.
Don't be shocked if Oregon does not slip in there. If they win out and win the Pac-12, my Oregon Ducks will be in the CFP. With one loss to Georgia, that's all they got, and win 13 in a row, 12 in a row. It's gonna be hard to keep them out of it.
Speaking of Georgia, did y'all catch Kirby Smart after their game, the Tennessee game, when he was being interviewed? Clearly, to me, this was a shot. I don't know what his relationship is with Heupel with Tennessee. He made a comment after the game that said he and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something along the lines that our players love to be here. We don't have any players from the portal.
Ooh.
He said that right after the game, and to me that was. And I think it's no secret how many players Tennessee has brought in from the portal, and good for them. It is what it is. It's fair. But for him to kind of say that after basically stomping a mud hole in Tennessee, I thought that was kind of. I thought that was a shot. Just saying. But he's right. I mean, Georgia, their program, man, is they're the top dog. No pun intended.
Kevin, I'm gonna tell you this. Before name, image, and likeness was a thing, and I knew this from, I'm not gonna say who, I knew this from somebody who's credible, that Georgia had 1.7. It was either close to $1 million, unaccounted for funds. Before name, image, and likeness, it was $1 million that was unaccounted for.
In what way? What are you talking about? Accounted for?
Well, when you turn in, you know what you pay for recruits, you know what you pay for hotels, you know what you pay for equipment, you know what you pay for.
So budgeting something with their auditing
Their
shows.
budget had
Gotcha.
their budget had $1 million that was not accounted for.
That's 7 figures, Kevin. 7 figures off. That's a lot of money.
So yeah, your players happy to be there. Anybody
Well, I mean,
whose job pays them well or treats them well,
That's a good
and if you
point,
do
yeah.
both of them, you are happy to be there.
to me that's a positive. I'm not knocking anything.
That was
Look,
illegal. It was illegal before name, image, and likeness.
Look, when Georgia
illegal.
high school football has over 50 players that are 3 stars or above, it's hard not to be good. When you're a tradition in your state and there's no competition. What's the competition for Georgia inside Georgia?
Tech.
Georgia State is probably bigger than Georgia Tech as far as competition. They have zero competition for a saturated state of football. And then the crazy part about it, people don't understand, a lot of North Florida are more Georgia fans than Florida fans. So not only do you get the state of Georgia, you get a little piece of Florida too. It's just not right.
All right. Who has not said their top 4? Carrie?
So yeah, I'm going to go with definitely Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU at this point. Now, Michigan, Ohio State have to play each other, and then somebody has to also play in the Big Ten championship game. Georgia's going to probably, I'm going to say, I mean, LSU's in control of the West right now because they beat Ole Miss. Georgia may have to play that jerk at LSU. I can't stand Brian Kelly, man. I'm sorry. I cannot stand that guy. I hate him.
He killed a kid.
I don't even want to talk about him, right? I'm not even going to go there. I do not like the guy at all. So Oregon could sneak in there if they win the Pac-12. Pac-12 is terrible. So yeah, they could sneak in there and then subsequently get their butts handed to them, which I would love to see because, sorry, Van, I can't stand West Coast football.
I'll take that money though.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. What we got here? All right. I think we've kind of exhausted.
Anthony needs to do his at least his.
Oh yeah, Anthony. My bad. Yeah, you're top 4.
I'm with everybody else, man. I'm with everybody else.
I think
Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia.
Ohio State did not look good Saturday.
Nobody. I think a lot of people look bad this weekend. I think everybody's injury. And if one thing I just wish, and I didn't know Liberty was ranked above us. But Carrie's throwing shade at him. I didn't know they was ranked above us. But I just wish Michigan State was a whole lot better, just in case they lose a game on national TV. They can throw them hands one more time. Hey, get it in. Because if some of the ass whoopers me and Van took, I wish it was okay for us to do what Michigan State players was doing to Michigan players.
Facts. It'd have been worth missing 4 games.
Yeah, that's a robbery. Okay, as everybody's top 4 college football picks, or as far as top 4 college football playoffs, there you go. We got to talk some hoops. College men's basketball, Cats season opener Monday night. Howard comes into Rupp Arena, and then we got a game on the 11th, Duquesne. Terry, it is that time of the year where we get, the two, in my case, that I like to talk about. I know what is going on right there in Anthony's. Oh, your hand. Like, what the hell? Basketball season starts Monday. What do you need to see, or is there something you need to see? I mean, do we know for sure Oscar
Oscar's not going to play.
Not
Probably
yet.
not, from
Okay.
my understanding. But just want to for me, just win. Make it nice and comfortable. The marquee games, those must-win games, will come. Just get those young guys some experience and keep it moving. Nothing too wild and crazy at this point of the season. Not like 4 years ago.
What was go on? Give us that
Oh,
4 years ago today.
That was
right?
4 years ago today. That was the Champions Classic up in Indy where Zion Williamson and company put a beat down on the Cats. That was not a fun game to be in attendance for. But it's basketball season. It's a lot of things going on right now. So if you're a Kentucky athletics fan, there's a lot for you to choose from.
So are you saying the school's program sport starts tomorrow?
We're a basketball school. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, basketball. I'm trying to be fine. I think I
Oh
mentioned that.
no, we're in everything school, man.
We are.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I agree. Corey, tomorrow night, basketball. Do you live at Rupp too?
Nope.
Okay.
Just football.
Okay. Just football. Do you even care about basketball?
Of course, yes, but I just work football. This be one of our oldest teams in a really long time.
It is the oldest during Cal's.
Oh yeah, that's not even close for Cal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll be a lot of times we'll have five seniors on the floor, so shouldn't have a lot of early struggles. Hopefully, with that experience. Just looking forward to. I know Oscar's out. I think
Wheeler back.
I think he might be out too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see what Casey can do at the point. I would assume Collins might be back tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe not. With his father passing away, I'm not sure. So we might be a little thin, but I mean it's Howard, so it's not going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, last week, who was our last exhibition game? Oh, Kentucky State. Granted, they put it away early, but that rotation, Van's away. Let me jump to Carrie. Carrie, potentially, there's a deep rotation here with this group.
Yeah, sure. I guess. I mean, I'll watch. To be honest with you, I didn't watch the game on Thursday night because I would have had to switch over to the ESPN app on my TV, and Coastal Carolina Appy State was at 7:30, so that was way more interesting to me than watching Kentucky play Kentucky State in basketball. But I'll watch, sure, whatever. Yay, it's starting. I'm still in football mode, man. I don't like if this was on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday, I'd be watching football because we got Maction on Wednesdays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays now. So catch you some Maction till the end of the season. Oh, Kevin froze. Uh-oh. Okay, so Anthony, do you have any opinion at all on basketball?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll keep her on the show. I'll run it. I don't care.
Hey,
sure.
you did a great
Why
job
not?
on the locker when this thing happened.
Yeah, so I know Van doesn't care about basketball at all.
Hell no, I'm muting myself.
That's why I turned his camera off. But Anthony, any opinion on basketball?
Absolutely. And I'm with the whole idea, and we talked about this morning on Sunday Morning Sports Talk, that Casey Wallace at the point kind of reminds me of maybe Ty, Keldon, strong guys with the ball, and can do a lot of different things. My whole concern was, I know we won't have Oscar and we won't have Severe playing. I don't know if Severe is doing himself any favors by not being available. And I understand the injury is something you don't want to play through injuries early because it's going to linger. But if you start letting Casey show that this thing moves a lot better without you in there, then Severe may have to make a case for himself. Other thing I agree with Carrie on was, one thing I do like about this squad, And I'm never in tune with what Cal is thinking. But I don't think we have to have any 30-minute players. We don't have to. Our rotation is so deep. We don't have to have 30-minute players, which I think is going to lend to us, playing deep into the season and playing, having a lot of flexibility throughout the season.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in basketball mode right now. I'm still in football mode. So I'll watch it, but it is what it is at this point. Talk to me like at the end of the month or something, or maybe the beginning of December about basketball, I guess. But something, Van, you may want to jump back on here for this next topic real quick. So U of L, and this is technically, I guess, basketball. But U of L did finally get their NCAA penalties, for whatever that's worth, handed down to them. And I know that was kind of the next topic. So, Van, you might want to jump in on just in terms of like what the penalty, because what did they get? Terry, what did they get? They got a $5,000 fine, right?
Yeah, some recruiting man hours pulled back. Not a whole lot of teeth, but I'm of the mind at this point the cloud hanging over Louisville was almost punishment enough. They've been they've had enough. They've had enough. I'm ready to move on from it. What I didn't like were the Louisville folks that were gloating about putting the banner up, because I'm like, no, that was for the other scandal that you had, not this one. That was, so whatever, man. Just whatever, like I said, I'm glad that they're able to move on. I didn't think the IARP was going to hammer them real hard, because we've seen they have not done that to anybody. So it is what it is. Way to go, Louisville fans. I don't know what you'll complain about next when Kentucky beats you and,
everything.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Kentucky's never beat Louisville fair on the up and up. Never. Never. Not even when A-Dot and them put up 60 points in Papa John Stadium. That was the sun was like this, and the helicopters. Corey, you're in Louisville, man. You see this stuff, you hear this stuff. Yep. It's like it's never been a legitimate win. Never.
So Corey, what do you think about this so-called quote unquote air quotes punishment?
I think the fine was pretty ridiculous. I mean, $5,000 is like a penny to a program, so that's pretty shameful. But like Terry said, what they've gone through as a program the last few years, I've enjoyed watching. As a native of Louisville, you grew up with their fans in school and at work and even in your family, so it's been very nice the last 5 years to see them suffer. So that's good enough for me.
Van, you got a take on this?
Yeah, I'm glad that the players who had nothing to do with it is not being punished. I understand that the $5,000 stuff, but these kids had no idea, didn't care, didn't come here because of that. So it sucks that we can't put all this punishment on in a speedy amount of time. So the guys who really screwed up should be punished. So that's my take, is that I'm just glad these kids are not punished for something that happened years ago.
Yeah, Anthony, you got any take on this?
No, man, I echo a lot of things other guys said. I'm glad that people who didn't have anything to do with it didn't get punished, man. And you know what? I'm gonna say this again. People get mad at me, man. I'm a Patino fan, man. Like, man, at the end of the day, if you a bad guy, man, you a bad guy, whatever. Man, Patino helped us win. I mean, but they act like and that's one thing BBN got to get better at. If somebody leaves this program, they are still there. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in this world that people change. I don't like this person because they did something. But if whatever Patino did for us, he's done for us. So I was happy to see that they vindicated him. Yeah, he got a little ass in the restaurant. I ain't married, but I felt like that was pretty slick. Like, man, that was a G move. I was glad that, like, Patino. I don't like Chris Mack a whole lot, but so I'm mostly echoing that people that had nothing to do with it didn't get in trouble. And I don't know, I guess because I'm not from Kentucky, I don't buy into that whole, man, I hate Louisville thing, because once you beat them, you beat them. Like, you're relevant to me. But our fan base feel like, we want to see Louisville suffer. No, because at the end of the day, like Van said, there are some student athletes who shouldn't have to suffer for mistakes other people made.
Good take.
Yeah, real quick, Kevin. I'll give my take since
no.
I was having to run your show. But yeah, so I agree with Van and Anthony there. I hate seeing like players who didn't have anything to do with anything get punished, and I don't think the NCAA is going to give the death penalty out anymore. To be honest with you, I don't think that's never going to be a thing. But I do hate the fact that the wheels on the NCAA turn so slowly. Like, this has been 5 years in the making. I mean, 5 years, really? I mean, even Terry Brown's law firm gets things done quicker than that. You know, I've seen the advertisements. We'll get you your money quick. So yeah, I think that's what I hate about the whole thing, is it's taken so long.
I think tomorrow I'm going to probably wind up, Terry, being out in Louisville somewhere, and your mug is going to be on the back of a TARC bus. Call law. What is your law firm? What would you? I don't know. Humor me.
What can Brown do for you? You know what I mean? The Brown bomber will take them down. The important thing is, I've watched Law and Order. I know enough.
You do. All right, so that was Louisville. Yeah, I don't know did y'all talk about Kansas really slapped themselves on the hand hard, for their penalties or whatever you call it. So,
it is funny that all the fan bases, all the media folks that said when Kentucky hired Cal that put the banners up with Velcro. It is funny. So that all those fans and everybody pointing fingers, they all got hit with ridiculous stuff. Now I say that tomorrow could bring news, but for right now, it's humorous to your boy that all the finger pointing and all that kind of stuff, and we've stayed relatively above the fray.
Oh, definitely. When Cal showed up, here in Louisville, I've got a lot of Louisville fans. It's a matter of time. Everything's going to come down. Blah, blah, blah. They, that program, there's some great storylines for that program since Cal has arrived. But kind of going back to Pitino too, I am a Kentucky fan that absolutely appreciates.
Yeah, he throws that again. So we're going to go on to the next topic, I guess, which actually, real quick, was the World Series, because I can't neglect this, because Van's got is a big Astros fan, and Terry's got Terry. I didn't know you were an Astros fan, but apparently you are. So
no,
Terry,
I've got
a question.
I've got all MLB caps, so
yeah.
I'm ready for a moment's notice.
Oh, okay, I got you. So Anthony,
my team went away and doesn't exist. So
I don't have a whole lot to lend to the baseball conversation. I just want to know, when you're talking about Astros, I just want to know, why do they call hemorrhoids instead of asteroids?
Okay. Deep thoughts with A-Dot.
That I cannot answer.
That's a good question.
That is a good question, though. I like it.
Yeah.
So TB, you just have all the MLB team hats, right?
Yeah, I'm up to at last count 130 hats and caps. So I've got all of them. I'm an Expos fan, and they took my Expos away and moved them to Washington to become the Nationals. So I'm a vagabond. My beloved wife is a diehard Cubs fan, so by proxy, I'm a Cubs fan. But I'm ready to go for whoever. So
okay,
I'm no Astros fan.
So what did you think of the win, though? What did you think of the World Series?
For me, yay for Dusty. Like I said, I'm not a big Astros fan, but Dusty Baker, he's one of 12 managers to win 2,000 games as a manager. The only African-American manager. He started his professional baseball career in 1968. Man's been through a lot. He was born in 40 whatever. He's been through a lot.
Our Reds manager.
He's won wherever he's gone.
Good.
And he's just been one of those longtime baseball guys. And I tip my hat to Dusty Baker. He's had a lot of near misses in San Francisco, in Chicago. He was the manager during the Bartman game. You know,
Yeah, he was. Oh, he was. Yeah.
yeah. So Dusty's been through a lot. So yay for Dusty. But other than that, you know, I'll let Van
right.
take it. He's got his Astro stuff on.
How much time do I have? Because you know what? For all these MFers, that all I heard about is all you guys can do. You're cheaters. You can't win. Blah, 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 blah. How many World Series have we been to in the past 5 years?
2.
No. We won 2, but how many have we been? We've been to 4.
4? That's
Oh, yeah.
happily.
We lost to the Nationals and we lost to
Braves.
the Braves.
Braves.
Yeah, wow.
All right. Last year, we lost to the freaking Braves last year. I tried to forget that.
So the banging wasn't successful, those other ones.
I'm just, so for all that crap about the banging of the drums, everybody fucking cheats. And if you don't know it, the damn Yankees got caught too. So for everybody to put all that crap on us, you ain't got nothing to stand on now. Because we whipped. We should have won that game, and we should have won that series in 5. If Verlander wouldn't have crapped down his leg in game 1, we would have won it in 5.
They threw a
You
no-hitter.
don't go up 5-0 and give up the booty on 5-0. Come on. But
I mean, it's a big deal too to have a no-hitter in a World Series.
Right. As DATB said, at the end of the day, did we not win a series? Did we not win 4 games? And did we not win at home? See, last time we didn't win at home. We won at home. There's no better feeling.
So
thank you, USM. It don't matter. I don't care because now people can't say Jack. You can. There's no asterisk anymore.
Well, there's still an asterisk for 2017.
No, it's not because you know what? We're about to win next year, and we return
there's still an
everybody.
asterisk on Twitter.
I mean, just because you're on parole doesn't mean you didn't commit the crime.
Yeah, I mean,
just because you're free and you've served your time doesn't mean you're not an ex-con.
oh, do I assume the judge role here on the show? I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Carrie's the judge. Carrie, you're the judge.
Corey, are you a baseball guy? Because that's stats. That's like people who play fantasy baseball are basically playing fantasy stats, right? So
I do. I follow my Braves. I don't do any fancy baseball because that's like a daily thing. So.
Oh, you're a Braves fan.
That's right. So I thoroughly enjoyed it last year. So
yeah, I mean, we were up.
I certainly didn't want the Phillies to win. So.
Oh, really?
Well, they're in the East with us. So.
That's right. See, all this realignment of division sucks because we used to be in the same division as the Braves, and now not being in it kind of sucks because I hate Dale Murphy.
I mean, you're not just in the whole. You're in a whole new league.
Yeah, we're in a whole new league. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter because we just won. And
now Van sounds like a UO.
The UNL fans never won a national championship though, so no, we don't even put me in those boats. We are a world global series champion. Not a little ACC champion, not any of that. We are a World Series champion. 2 out of the last 5. And we're going to win again next year back to back because we return everybody. And, hey, here's another thing. Little secret I'm going to tell you. Don't be shocked if we don't go after Aaron Judge because we can let Verlander, if Verlander doesn't take his player option, we got $24 million readily available. And you know who we can get with that $24 million?
I mean, you just won a World Series, and there's no cap in baseball. There ain't no cap
in baseball.
Yeah,
nope.
Get
no
Judge
cap in
because
baseball.
I think Verlander's healthy enough to pitch a solid year.
Yeah, but we don't have Matrix Mike as our owner, who just made $75 million.
$75 million. The biggest bet, the biggest payout in sports betting history.
Wow. Yeah, I did hear
that tells you the ills of this country when a guy who has that much money can bet $7.5 million. Oh, no, $10 million.
$10 million. He bet $10 million.
Bet $10 million. I just bet $10 million, and I come away with 75. The rich gets richer.
I've always thought of this. Is it a little bit of Terry's the one? I'll ask this. Is it a little bit of arrogance to have a a pro sport that's totally U.S., but it's the World Series that's being won every year.
Oh, I mean, now that it's open to non-white people, you can call it the World Series all you want to. We got people from all over the place that play. Even though
As
this
far as
was
players,
DA, why unwhite? Why why not non-white? Why you go un? I'm just asking.
I just
DA.
said because Dusty Baker caught a lot of flack because I think he name dropped Bill Cosby in the lead up, but his comments the day before, this was the first World Series since 1950 with no African American players playing. That's an issue. That's an issue. I mean, I could give you an hour on that. I won't, but that's an issue. So, but yeah,
I'll
you can
say
call it
it.
World
All
Series.
those Babe Ruth stats and stuff like that. That's a joke.
Well,
I'm
I'm not going to open up that can, but happy for you, Van. I was going to be nice.
are happy.
And this is from, I think,
Oh wow.
2 uniforms ago for the Astros. So
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
the bet.
Biggio and
Biggio and Bagwell.
Biggio years.
Yeah.
So remember those Astro teams? Mike Scott, Nolan
Yep.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Those were some badass.
Those were
All right.
teams. That was during this time.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Wrap it up there, Kevin Hale.
Okay, I know. My
Kevin
apologies
Maurice Hale.
for the
Wrap it up.
apologies for the internet here.
Closing arguments.
I mean, what did we talk to about? All right, I guess we're at final
Parts of
shots.
those you remember that you were here for.
Yeah. I do think I have some internet issues and I work from home, so that's a potential problem for me tomorrow. Anyways, all right, Terry Brown, I'll start with you. Final shot, sir.
Final shot. Way to go, Kentucky men's soccer. Their undefeated season keeps going. So, football school, basketball school, everything school.
Everything.
That's
Corey?
a nice ad there.
It is. Corey Price, final shot, sir.
Definitely not sports related, but it's kind of embarrassing. I know. I think everyone here is an alum of UK. Kevin, did you go to UK?
Mm-mm.
Well, most of us did. Pretty disturbing video came out this morning of a kid who, it's bad. And when you combine that with what Kyrie's been doing the last couple weeks, pretty tired of seeing hate. It's awful. And then with voting coming up soon, there's ads of people hating on people for no reason whatsoever. I just hate seeing it. It's like I said, the one that came out this morning. It's embarrassing for our school. So just
that one's gone pretty fucking viral. Yeah. And here's my thing is that she should be blasted. She should be shamed. I have 0 F's about shaming or just going at ignorance or stupidity. Clearly, this person actually, I think, was there another video besides something that surfaced previously about her too? I think
I saw that allegedly, but
allegedly. They're okay. Nonetheless, Corey, I'm totally with you. This fucking world of ours right now, man, it's literally it's half one way, half the other. And if you're not, blue, just not try to get political, but it's some sad times. And Tuesday is an important day. Exercise your right. Make it happen. If you can't bitch and moan about something, and if you're not proactively doing something like voting. So good take there, Corey. Van, final shot, sir.
Wow. I was going to say something about Pac-12 and UCLA and my man DTR are going off, but Corey got me. You know what's crazy about all this is without camera phones, without proof that some people have been saying for years and be like, oh, no, that Mary wouldn't do that to, no way my Mary would do that. I've seen it happen. And it's crazy that in 2022, we're still going through things. And we are kind of turning the turn a little bit solely because of technology. If it wasn't for technology, whom would people have believed? Because I'm sure that girl is an upstanding citizen, has never done anything to anybody. Oh my gosh, she is a perfect little doll. So it's
Trash.
crazy, man, that it really takes crazy technology for us to finally believe the other side.
And I've always said this is my take when it comes, because clearly she was impaired with alcohol or whatever. Not an
Which
excuse.
removes your filters.
Exactly. All it does is it exaggerates who you are. And to me, if you throw that word out like that, that is who you are. That's probably, I'll say it, who her fucking family is too. It's learned behavior. It's just that culture that they're in. And I tell you what, I don't know who the girl is who was enduring all that, but props to her, because she rolled with it. She did the right thing. You
Well,
know,
you
some
have
people
to.
would have dropped that foot,
The
put
best
that.
thing, it wasn't the right thing. Right
Well-
thing was put them paws to her. It
Well,
was
Right.
it was the best thing. It wasn't the,
the
right
best
thing.
thing. No, you're
Right.
right. And yeah,
And she
I
had
would've-
to.
Yeah, she had
I mean,
to.
if
And there's probably cameras, because it's in a dorm, right? Was this in a dorm?
Yeah.
it was in a,
Potential
Yeah.
cameras there.
Yeah.
You know, no cameras. I'd have cut the cell phone video, and the next day the story would have been, she fell down. So I've got these witnesses that say she fell down like on her face twice. Yeah. So. But yeah, credit to her who just didn't do anything. But yeah, I do hope. Well, the president the school has responded at that level too. So, uh, all right, who we got? Carrie, final shot.
Yeah, so I've been legit learning to box for over 2 years now. So bring it to me, because I keep asking people to take swings at me and they won't do it. And I love to utilize my skills. Right, no problem.
But your kung
Yeah.
fu game is amazing, Carrie.
That's not kung fu, man. It's boxing. It's boxing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Boxing.
All
But so I'm gonna lighten it a little bit, right? Is that okay? Yeah. So
Yes, please.
so if you all didn't, please look this guy up. I don't know if he is a Texas A&M fan who has just had it with the team, or if he is like a Texas fan who's living in College Station. But there was a guy at the Florida Texas A&M game yesterday who was dressed in an Appy State shirt, an Appy State hat, and lit up a cigar in the stands when Texas A&M lost to Florida. And it was the best troll I have ever seen. It was amazing. It was so great. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he's just done with A&M or what, but props to you, sir.
Wow. I'm talking about a program that's fallen on their face this year, because they were
95 million.
not.
95
Yeah,
million.
yeah.
95 million.
Anthony, final shot, sir.
Well, I couldn't remember what my final shot is. I kind of forgot what my final shot was. But let me roam around for a second.
If you need a moment, I do have one thing I want to throw out.
Say
No, it's Carrie, make Thanksgiving great again, right?
I tried to. I tried to a couple of years
None of
ago,
this
and
Christmas
I-
shit right
I
after
love Thanksgiving.
Halloween.
I love Thanksgiving, man. Food and football. What's not to love?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Carrie started on Facebook, and I've used some of her posts and my own post. Look, I get it. You know, family's complicated, whatever. But Christmas is fun, right? There's bright lights, there's fun songs, there's great movies. Thanksgiving is the one time where it's like, hey, take a breather, look around, see what you got, and appreciate it. Ain't no gift giving, ain't no song, ain't no whatever. It's just
It's more
stop
authentic.
and
I
be appreciative,
Yeah.
right? And we don't want to do that. We want to get to the next big shiny thing. And look, I love Christmas as much as anybody, right? I do. I love it. But 2 months is excessive. It just is. Like it's excessive.
Louisville radio, November 1st, Christmas music.
two
all
months is excessive.
24/7. Mariah
Look,
Carey, every other song.
it didn't take the wise men 2 months to go see Baby Jesus. What are we doing?
I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
First, second, and third of all, most people celebrate their birthdays for a month. Jesus, you can give him 2 months. You could actually give him 12 months. It ain't really no limitation on what you're gonna get a man. But I will say this, and I think Carrie will appreciate this. I think everybody on here will appreciate this. I don't know who is in the formatting of UK productions, but we have women's basketball, which Terry knows about and Van knows about. Carrie, that may be fourth on her list after football, and I know Corey's all things sports. We are playing. How do you have your two teams competing each other for time stages? That's one thing. So whoever's on there, hire Corey Price. I know he ain't really available. Get that man some money because he's off the dome with the information. He's gonna get this situated where we can play the women's game on Tuesday and the men's game on Monday. Not both of them on the same day in the same slot. That's one thing. That is one thing. We shouldn't have to do that. Second thing is, whenever you have a Kentucky basketball game playing, because our fan base is large and we are good, ESPN, you can do a little bit better job. If you are watching a game that starts at 6 and ends at 8, at 8 o'clock, send them over and let the people find that stream that you're watching. Let them know for the last 15 minutes, we are going to be going over the so-and-so channel. Because at 8 o'clock, if I want to tune into a game on ESPN, I should not have to find an alternate because you have told me for a week that this game is going to be on at 8. So, holler at Corey Price so we can get our UK games where the boys aren't competing against the girls. And secondly, when people want to watch UK basketball, we got a whole group called Big Blue Nation, but they want to watch it. If I tune in at 8 o'clock, I shouldn't have to wait till 9 o'clock to watch a game. I shouldn't have to wait till 8:40.
Yeah. Why don't we have our own channel like
What did
Texas
you watch the game Thursday?
The
Kentucky State game?
We got to hear our
the
local
feed.
people.
The feed was just Tom Leach and Givens, and they just kept the camera the whole. I was like, I'm not by myself. I would pay a monthly subscription to get that for everything. Like ESPN, you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
you get a team broadcast for some of the big teams out there. I would give me Tom Leach 7 days a week, and that was great.
Yeah,
and
plus on SEC Plus or ESPN Plus, I guess is they don't have commercials too, so
they stayed the whole time. It was great.
And
I'd pay for an all 22 feed. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, good. Here we're a 2-hour show. Carrie, I asked you to put me in check.
You dropped out. I just kept doing topics.
Well, actually, my internet started dropping out at 10. Maybe my internet was on to something. Great show. Again, we talked about it earlier. Tuesday, voting day. Get out. If you're eligible to vote, do it. Make a difference. Let's stop hate. Can we be fucking nicer to people? And for the record, Carrie, the earth is not fucking flat. That should tell you something right there too. Terry, Corey, Van, Carrie, Lewis, and her news, Anthony. Great show. Terry, what you got Wednesday? Real quick.
I don't know, but we had Carrie Lewis this past week, and it was a fantastic show. Really, really great. Got to have her on again. It had been like 8 years or something, something ridiculous. So we gotta do that. But we'll see what happens on Wednesday.
Okay, Van, Anthony, what you got for? Is it Wednesday this week? Because last week was Tuesday. Okay, back to Wednesday. Okay, no guests, just the two of you.
It is. There's gonna be just the two of us. We're gonna talk. I want to give you a heads up because I don't know the next time I'm gonna be on here. We going Terry them had Carrie Lewis. We gonna have Carrie Lewis in the locker. Van and I gonna have her too. I hope she ain't too worn out. So we're gonna have her in the locker Wednesday, 3 weeks from now, Louisville
Oh,
week.
Okay.
She's committed,
well,
and Van and I gonna have her too.
it's nice to be wanted, Carrie. Right?
Right.
It's nice to be wanted.
I try.
All right. Good stuff tonight. Round of shots. The audio podcast will drop sometime on Monday. Terry, Corey, Van, Carrie, Anthony, thanks so much. We will
Thank
be
you.
back next Sunday recapping Vandy, looking ahead to Georgia, talking hoops. It's going to be a big show, sure. Wishing everyone a great Sunday night, a good week. Go Cats. Lots of stuff coming up this week. So peace out. Love you guys. Take care. Later.
There you go.
There you go.